Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Fani Willis. Of course, she or the judge allowed Trump's attorney to appeal his decision. So we'll talk more about that. And then we're going to get into Tiffany Henyard. It's two things that came up on Tiffany Henyard. One, she started her On the Move podcast. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it. I only watched the first couple of few minutes of it. So we'll react to that video. And then another thing I want to discuss is Apple is being sued for antitrust laws breach. I guess they violated antitrust laws. Anyway, so we'll discuss that more on today's episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Let's see who we have in the building. We have Shock G. Thank you for tuning in on the Move podcast. She feels like her name is hot. She's trying to use the podcast as a money tool. Of course. Yeah. So she thinks that she's going to monopolize off her name. Kennard, the DJ, what is good? Thanks for tuning in. We have Noble Young in the building. Carolyn Cruz, it's good to see you. Jay Jones, good. Thank you for tuning in. We have Richard Stanton. Thank you for tuning in as always. Dancha Wanano, blessings to you. You guys are killing me with your names. Muata Kwandu. Thank you for tuning in, Grand Rising, all the way from Arkansas, Little Rock. We have some people in from New Jersey. That's Renee Diggs. Happy Thursday to you, Carmelo Ortiz. We have Quincy Gray in the building from Dallas. Lexi, what is good? King Cuddy, what is good? Shout out to all the co-defendants. Fanny Can't Touch, Trevion. Okay. And let's see who else we have in the building. Of course, Kennard is from Chicago. Carolyn is from viewing from Boston, Massachusetts. We have somebody from Indianapolis is in the building. Atlanta, Georgia. Sheena is tuning in from Atlanta, Georgia. We have Stephen from New York. It's good to see you, Stephen. Lee Hewitt, thank you for the super chat. Is in the building. We have, who else do we have in the building? And Lee Hewitt is from North Carolina. We also have WJK PMP, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Verna Welch. Verna is tuning in from Texas. Verna, it's good to see you. Okay, you guys, we're going to get to our first story of the hour. I just want to cover this, just a little snippet of it, because I want to see where it's going. So a continuous cover on Apple. Okay, I'm a big fan of Apple products. I know it is expensive. I tried to get everybody that I know to convert to Apple, only because you don't have to deal with the spyware or the spamware that comes with if you use Windows operating system. Okay, Windows OS. So that's basically why I want to cover it. But they're saying right now, let me just make sure you guys can see this. It says Apple sued in a landmark iPhone monopoly. Okay. They're calling it a monopoly scheme only because they're saying antitrust. What is it called? They're saying that the U.S. Justice Department and more than a dozen states filed the blockbuster antitrust laws against Apple on Thursday, accusing the giant company of illegally monopolizing the smartphone market. Okay, so if you guys don't are not familiar with the antitrust law, it basically says, say for you, you provide a service. It could be I provide sandwiches, and you're the only one that provides sandwiches in the area. You want to stomp out your competition, so maybe you control the bread market as well. So you decided, oh, I don't want to sell to these competitors of mine because I'm the only one that want to sell sandwiches in my neighborhood. So you're able to jack up the prices in your neighborhood, and people have to pay the price because they want sandwiches. So that's basically what they're saying about Apple. Okay. It's the largest in the recent string of big tech companies to face antitrust complaints from the US government, which is cracking down on a massive industry whose power has gone largely unchecked over the past several decades. I just going to read this part, and I do have the video to show you. It says the complaint says Attorney General Merrick Garland at a news conference alleged that the Apple has maintained monopoly power in the smartphone market, not simply by staying ahead of competition on the merits, but by violating federal antitrust law. Okay, the consumer should not have to pay higher prices because the companies breaks the law, he added. And then it goes on to say uh, there's years of allegations by critics of Apple has harmed competition with restrictive app store terms, high fees, and its walled garden approach to its hardware and software. I love the walled garden approach. Like I said before, I've been dealing with Apples for years, since I've been in college. I always had an Apple computer, and I have not once obtained a virus on my computer. Now, my computers probably went kaplunk on some many other various reasons, but I love the wall garden approach. They're not allowing other people to integrate their software with Apple. Because once they do that, a lot of spamware is available. People could make codes up to get into your computer. Anyway, so Merrick Garland, he had a little spiel. I don't know how long this spiel is, but the Twitter or X snippet I caught on X, it's about what, 1 minute. Okay, so just 1 minute of your time. Okay, so this is what Merrick Garland had to say. I guess Merrick Garland doesn't have to say anything. Merrick Garland is having a problem talking. What's going on, Merrick? Let me see if I can refresh this screen.
The Department of Justice, joined by 15 states and the District of Columbia, sued Apple in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey for violating Section 2 of the Sherman Antitrust Act. Over the last 2 decades, Apple has become one of the most valuable public companies in the world. Today, its net income exceeds the individual gross domestic product of more than 100 countries. That is in large part due to the success of the iPhone, Apple's signature smartphone product. For over a decade, iPhone sales have made up a majority of Apple's annual revenue. Today, Apple's share of the U.S. performance smartphone market exceeds 70%, and its share of the entire U.S. smartphone market exceeds 65%. Apple charges as much as nearly $1,600 for an iPhone. But as our complaint alleges, Apple has maintained monopoly power in the smartphone market not simply by staying ahead of the competition on the merits, but by violating federal antitrust.
I don't know why it lost sound. Zoe basically said it violated the antitrust laws. Only reason why, like I said, I want to get ahead of the game and follow this story because I'm an Apple user. And as they stated, Apple controls 70% of the smartphone market. They charge over $1,600 a phone. That's literally ridiculous for a damn phone. No shade on Apple, but that's ridiculous. Now, I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago, they were sued because it was found that Apple was intentionally going into the older phones and causing those devices, and I think it was AT&T that was named in this lawsuit, but they were intentionally slowing the devices up so you would go into the store and buy a new phone. So there is a problem with Apple if they're doing this, but as far as, of course, I believe if I was a person, the CEO of Apple, you can't tell me I have to let you integrate to my software or my hardware, because of course, if I do that, a lot of malware will be created. And so now my product is not as good. So I'm not for sure how that intertwines with the antitrust laws, but maybe it does. That's what they're mentioning. Okay, so didn't want to bore you guys to death, but that I had to share that with you. That's all I want to say about that. You guys put in the comments, let me know what you think. Our next story is Fani Willis. Of course, Fani Willis. I'm not for sure if she's really, maybe she's just assuming that this was going to happen because of the statement that was made by Judge McAfee, his words when he came out with his judgment or his decision, whether or not to disqualify Fani Willis and to dismiss the case. He didn't. He gave her an ultimatum. Hey, you need to get rid of your boyfriend, or you could get rid of yourself. So she decided to get rid of her boyfriend, Nathan Wade. Now, on this strong language in his decision, he basically said, yeah, I know she lied. I know Nathan Wade lied. I know Fani Willis, her actions were unbecoming. He used the word untruthful. Basically, you lied or perjured yourself. And then he mentioned to put her on a gag order. He didn't say he was going to do it, but he said she might need a gag order because of the visits that she made to the church when the allegations first came out about her improprieties with the case in Nathan Wade. Okay, so they never found out. He never really said, well, he did mention that the monies that exchanged in between Nathan Wade and the state and Fani Willis because of the trips. He said the information that the defense presented was not a definitive answer to whether or not when Nathan Wade and Fani Willis relationship started. I thought it was, and you guys know, if you want to go back to the videos of what I said, I thought it was totally ridiculous what the judge said. Anyway, he's allowing for Trump and his lawyers to appeal this case. So, and this is what they had to say on CBS News.
He has granted an appeal to his decision related to the disqualification of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Nicole Killian is joining us now to talk more about this. Nicole, are you there? All right, she's there. So
she's
what
there
can
on
you
the
tell
phone,
us?
I think, maybe.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you're on the phone. All right. So tell us what comes next.
So what comes next is that this could potentially go up to the Georgia Supreme Court. Obviously, this is a decision that was just granted by Judge Scott McAfee, and this comes in the wake of his ruling last Friday, where essentially he gave District Attorney Fani Willis an ultimatum. Either she get off the case or her special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, that she hired, needed to withdraw. And of course, this was in light of those allegations surrounding their relationship. And so what we saw, of course, on Friday was that Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor, stepped down. But then the defense attorneys who brought the original complaint against the district attorney filed an appeal. And they said that Nathan Wade stepping down was not sufficient. And that's why they wanted to appeal Judge McAfee's ruling. And so what we saw today was that Judge McAfee granted that appeal. And so this does allow the appeals process to move forward. Now, what Judge McAfee made clear is that in terms of the fundamentals of the 2020 election interference case, that it will still move forward even in this appeals process. So in terms of whatever pretrial motions need to be scheduled and some of that minutia within the actual case itself, those types of proceedings will continue. But what is significant is that this will likely once again potentially delay the 2020 election case from moving forward. As you know, the district attorney, while she has proposed a number of different trial dates, the latest one she had proposed was August of this year in terms of starting a trial. And she noted that this is something that would likely take months and involve dozens of witnesses. But again, that was put on hold when these allegations surfaced about her relationship with Nathan Wade. And of course, now, in light of this appellate ruling, once again, this case could face even more delays.
Well, and I want you guys to know that through this appeal process, okay, the appellate court has 45 days to respond. I don't know if she said that in this video, but they have 45 days to respond. If they agree to take on the case, do you know Georgia is strictly Republican in that area? So you're going to appeal basically to a court that is probably pro-Trump. Of course, they're going to look at the law, but we thought this Judge McAfee was going to look at the law and rule by the law. And I don't think he did, because if he did, Fani Willis wouldn't even be on the case. They would have had to kick the can or kick this case to another place. And more likely, another court probably wouldn't have taken up this court case. Okay. Who wants to prosecute Trump at this time? I don't think so. His popularity is too strong. Okay. So anywho, they're kicking the case, and Judge McAfee, he didn't want to rule on it. Like I said, he kicked the can down the road, and this is what we get. Okay. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed. And if they take up the case, I'm pretty sure they're going to take Fani Willis off. That's just my own prediction. Anyway, so that's all I got to say about that. You guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. We do have another super chat in the building. Thank you, Jay Jones, for Jones in the building. Thank you. If you guys give Jay Jones, drop your YouTube link in the chat. Give Jay Jones a follow. He talks about similar topics that I talk about. He does talk about real estate as well. We do have Sassy Gal Beauty. Sassy Gal Beauty. I like Apple because of the same reason. No virus, etc. I do not trust Androids or Windows. Yes. I bought my kids a cheap computer. Actually, me and my husband bought our kids a cheap computer because they have these coding class. So we're teaching them, they're learning coding. And I tell you, just to set up Windows OS system was it was very challenging for these little small little $300 computers. And I was thinking to myself, like, if it was an Apple, all I had to do was turn it on, make an Apple ID, and do whatever, and it would be running. I had to like really reprogram the computer and put it on restart because something happened. The guy was saying, "Oh, I think it's a corrupt file in there," and I was like, "Well, I never used the computer." So anyway, it took me 3 months to set up the computer. We bought them in Christmas, so that's why I don't like it. It's too much, and they have too many different viruses that could attack your computer. Verna Welch says, I love my iPad and my iPhone. I like how you can check your emails before totally opening them. And so you don't get a virus. Exactly. Jay Jones says, I'm an Apple fan ever since Apple iPhone came out. Yeah, me too. We got another super chat. Micah Brown, thank you for your super chat. Quincy Gray says, I honestly think it's going to get dismissed. I really do too. I think it's going to get dismissed. I don't know. Some people, oh, you guys, maybe I'll show that when I have time. I'll pull up this email. I had this woman, a long email, and she was explaining to me why a married man would come over and spend the night in the middle of the night at a female that's single house. And she was like, my friend did it. And I'll be like, no, boy, you sit on the couch. I'm like, so you're the problem. you're the problem. Anyway, it was really wild, but she sent it to my Facebook. So next time I talk about Fani Willis, I would bring up that text that I received from somebody that watched my video. Anyway, so that's all I got to say about that. You guys, let's get to our most entertaining part of the hour. Your girl, Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard is trying to break into the social scene. She wants to be, what do you call, an influencer. She wants to monopolize off of being an influencer. Okay. And I want to show two things before I get, because she put on, I think it was Facebook or Instagram. Okay, remember yesterday I talked about Tiffany just a little bit because her bill that she was trying to pass. She was trying to pass a tax bill, a mental health tax bill. Why? That nobody knows what is this about in Thornton Township, and they end up not passing. Of course, 11 out of the 17 cities, the mayor told their people, do not vote on this bill because we do not trust Tiffany Henyard. She has too many allegations of misuse of funds. So we're not gonna she's not gonna get our support because we don't trust her. So since that happened, I believe she put out a statement. Let me see if did she put out, somebody sent it to me. Let me see if I can find it. She put out a statement since then, and I guess explaining whatever. Is this Facebook? Oh, you know what? Maybe it's on my other messenger. I gotta change my name. I think I gotta change my name. So yeah, so she put. I guess she was pretty disappointed that this whatever didn't pass. But it's like, people don't really trust you. So what do you expect? If people don't trust you and they know that they're not going to get um they know they're not going to get what they're supposed to get from their tax dollars. So why would you try to go up on their taxes? And the bill was like $42 a month, a year. It would have increased your tax bill about $42 a year. Anyway, I can't find it right now. While we're playing this, I'm gonna search for it. So this is Tiffany on the Move podcast, and she's I guess she's trying to break into the social media market. And it's like, okay, Tiffany, enough is enough.
Listen to losers, because you got to go talk to winners so you know how to win. You don't want to talk to a loser because a loser.
Now, this is just 2 minutes in the video. She's calling people losers. Who calls people losers? I guess you could say Donald Trump. Donald Trump would be one of those people. Yeah, he'll call a person a loser. But this is, she started calling people losers, and I guess she's talking about the media that's reporting on her negatively.
Losers can't tell you how to win. Remember, all we do is win no matter what. 25-0, baby. 25-0 on my lawsuits too. That part. Now they big mad. Ask them, did they win one? Did you win one? Did
25-0, we know it's a made up number. There has not been 25 lawsuits. And I'm assuming that she's talking about the Village, and all the cases are pending right now. I think they lost one case, but all the rest of the cases are pending.
Did you scratch it? Did you do anything? You didn't win nothing. Stop. But yet y'all talking. Everybody in their 24 hours worth of fame to talk mess, be negative. Like, that's not Tiffany Henyard. I am not a negative person. I can't stand negative energy. And I only sit in rooms and at tables with people that's just like me as relates to uplifting community, uplifting women. This Women History Month. Why aren't we uplifting one another? Y'all stay trying to tear me down, but God ain't gonna let you. So I just want.
I have a question, Tiffany. If you're uplifting women, what about that young victim that came forward to you, your ex-employee, saying I was SA'd and you did not do nothing about it? You fired her. You lied and fired her. So you're uplifting women, only the people that doesn't cause any problems for you or agree with you. Those are the women that you uplift.
You guys to know that God put you where he wants you. At the end of the day, I have been chosen and I'm ready to walk in my purpose. And that's why you see me today going against the nonsense that you see on the news. Because as Malcolm X said, the news is the most powerful outlet to basically make a guilty person look innocent and an innocent person look guilty. And that's why I'm here today, to fight back, to show you that you don't never, ever give up. Because your narrative, your vision is yours and yours alone. So now I'm here to walk in my truth. And that's what I'm going to do.
I hate to keep on interrupting her, but she's saying that she's been chosen by God. Okay. Who's been chosen by God? We've heard this before. Fani Willis says she was chosen by God. I think Letitia James, maybe she's saying she's chosen by God. All these people, these black women, hate to say it, these black women are saying they're the chosen one. No, well, that don't mean you could break the law. Just because you're the chosen one, that don't mean you could do the residents of Dalton and the people in Thornton Township this way, okay? And I'm speaking of misusing their funds and starving out businesses because they don't donate to your campaign.
Today. Okay, so today, the first person we're going to discuss is the U-Haul, Mr. Larry. So Mr. Larry, he claims, this is claims, allege, right? Let me use the right words, allege that he owns a U-Haul place in our village off of 142. Those that live in our community right off of 142 is right across from 142nd and Dante, to be exact. It's an expressway. Everybody get off that E-way doing about 90 miles an hour. And he said he got a candy store, right? Come on, really, look at my face. Candy store, right there off the E-way. So the kid gonna cross the street and run over? No, they don't do that. So I just want to point these things out, show you what really truly do exist, because the world's watching, but y'all don't live in our community to really know what's really going on in our own backyard. So I'm gonna show you what they version was, and I'm gonna show you the body cam of what's really going on in my town, because we got a lot of underground clubs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Get the little QR codes, get in the back door, and y'all open at 2 a.m. in the morning. Where they do that at? 2 a.m. to 5, 6, 7 in the morning? That's what's going on in my community. So I just want you guys to know what we are about to do, or what we're about to show you, and now you will see Truth Speaks. Here we go. Watch the video. And this is the news portion. So I'm going to let it play, and I want you to listen, and then we will go into the true body cam of what really happened that night and what's going on while you're asleep. While you're asleep, remember, Mayor Henyard's always working. So this is the things we catch at night, but the news didn't show you none of this. Why is that? Let's go.
Gardner says he's also considering a lawsuit alleging
All right,
the
so
village
this is Mr.
illegally
Larry.
shut down his candy store.
We could ask the question, okay, what if she's going to show us? I didn't see nothing damning or anything like that, okay, but I guess they're having a illegal or speakeasy spot. Why didn't you just send that to the news station so everybody could know? But instead, you want to monopolize off of this. You could have been clear this, oh, no, reason why we didn't grant him his license is because he has illegal, he's operating an illegal club. What? And then that would have got rid of all the claims of, hey, she's starving out my business.
They had a candy store, right?
And
So we're going
he's
to watch what
trucking
the news
business.
told.
There's no freight. I just have a couple of friends that don't have anywhere to put their belongings, so I put the stuff in here to collect a couple of dollars to pay the rent.
That clip was from the news. So let me show you what Mr. Larry been up to. Let me show you what we've been watching. So pay attention, because it's a whole sitcom. I kid you not, for about 45 minutes. But we about to show you what we've been dealing with every other night, every weekend, when we find out that they're having these underground nightclubs in our backyard. You're going to be amazed at what goes on in here. And I'm going to talk to you as it is rolling. Play the tape.
You the owner of the establishment? Okay.
So this is
How we doing, John?
Larry DeLiers,
Hey, who's the owner?
U-Haul place.
You? Okay. We would
And
have
you have
be
one of our
having any type of
officers
events or parties
here
scheduled for tonight, would we?
at his location,
Private club?
and they're asking him about
Are you
his
licensed to operate a private club?
business license.
Just for my friends.
For real, for your friends. Okay. What we got going on back there?
They just having a party.
Okay, you mind if I take a look?
Sure.
All right.
So he told him he could take a look. Now he said candy store. Did y'all see any candy anywhere? I didn't. Unless you 50 Cent in the candy shop. I don't know. What is this? But it looks like a nightclub, guys. What does that look like to you? Y'all tell me. I don't know. You tell me what that look like. That look like a nightclub. It's about to go down. Boy, look at that. Oh, only in Dalton, right?
Mr. Larry, so we're going to have to shut
So the
this
officer comes back
event
up.
down. You're not
He
licensed
talks to him.
operate that type of event?
That he
I mean,
does not have a
as far as
business
club
license,
or
nor do he have a
parties,
liquor license
like
to operate that in our community. But again, the news didn't tell you that. They talked about a candy store. Stop! Candy store on 142. Anybody that live over there off 142 in Dante? 142 in Dante. It's an expressway. When people exit, they doing about 70 to 90 miles an hour off the E-way. Literally. You're not gonna let your kid cross the street to go to that spot for a candy store. Just not gonna do it. No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. We not gonna do it. But this is what's in my backyard, guys. This is the things that you see me fighting against. So here we go. We're gonna go to part 2. That's part 1. Ha! That's part 1. So I want you to get your popcorn, get your cover. I know it's raining outside, but stay with me. Here we go. This part 2. Now, it's another night, and we get a call about club activity in our village. Once again, you just saw part 1. He don't have no business license. He don't have no liquor license. All illegal, right? So he's operating an illegal underground nightclub in our town, which he had been doing for several months, let alone years.
I would like to push back on Tiffany. This happens in any major city, any small city. You will probably have an underground type operation that and is it right? No, it's not right. But you will have this type of thing going on. Nobody called. If he's on the freeway and I'm not a Dalton resident, if he's on the freeway, expressway, she said Express 142, nobody's going across to buy candy. So let's think logically. If he's on the expressway, who's calling saying, hey, they got cars outside of Larry's spot. You might want to go check to see what's going on. No, at this point, this video was taken in January 1st, 2024, the beginning of this year. At this point, you're just harassing me because I already placed a lawsuit on you. You guys, let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. Nobody called you. I can't believe that. Nobody called you about this guy on the expressway. At this point, you're just harassing him.
He's been told several times, but he continually does it. So officers got called to the scene, as you can see. And as you can see, as they're at the scene, Larry the liar, he's right here. What? Look at that, zoom in. So look at that. What is that? Is that a gun? Oh, what you need a gun at a candy store for? I'm just saying, choir man's want to know. I'm just saying, what you need a gun?
It's not illegal to operate and own a permit, a gun permit, Tiffany. So you're acting like this guy is still not a legitimate business owner. I mean, like I said, okay, you're not supposed to be operating a nightclub, but come on now. This is a little bit much.
Gun at a candy store. So as you go walk through, you see all these vehicles. Again, remember, y'all just saw the news. What the news tell y'all it was?
Party shut down. You gotta go.
They told you it's a candy store / truck stop. I don't see not one truck. Show me where a truck can. I'll wait. Truck. Where you at? Truck. Would you look at this? Cars for days. Cars. It's like a whole party going on, right? Whole nightclub. I wonder what the entrance fee was. And remind you, if you don't live in our town, this is like in the cut. Like you won't even notice it. It's so hidden, this location. But when you got so much activity going on, or when the police is called, that's how we find out about a lot of things that goes on at night while y'all sleep. He opened these clubs up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and be there till 7 a.m. I'm like, what they do that at? Little did I know in Dalton. But this what we fighting against. Look, girl twerking. She got a bottle. Now look at this. You finna enter this club scene. And you see as we enter, look at all them people. But remember, again, candy store. This is a full-blown nightclub. But look at this. You got people for days, you got chairs, you got stages, you got the DJ on the ones and twos. Look at this, people. But this is what I try not to do, is put people's stuff on blast. But today is the day. Because you keep trying to throw me under the bus and say, it's the mayor, it's the mayor. No, it's not the mayor. It's you, sir. You are having illegal clubs in our community with no...
This is what Tiffany's thinking. You're having illegal clubs in my community and you're not paying me for it. Nino Brown, bitch, better have my money. Rihanna, this is what you're not paying me for, this illegal club. You didn't pay your fee. This is why she has a problem with it. She doesn't really have a problem with it's illegal. She has a problem with that you didn't give me no money for it. Hence this video, because she's trying to monopolize off of this. Let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction.
Business license, no liquor license. You even got illegal gambling machines. Come on, man. People, look. She say, look. We ain't got beans, greens, potatoes. We got a whole nightclub. Look at this. In Dalton. Like a young crowd too, boy. Just trying to get it in. But this is what we've been dealing with, guys. These are the parts that is really, really sad that the news don't show you, because they have to paint a picture of the mayor's bag. And this is what I mean when I talk about the news trying to defame my name. But again, if you live here, you understand. If you live here, you know what community has been complaining about, and you know what community do not want. But people always go about it the wrong way. And then turn around and say, oh, It's her, it's not me. Stop it. Stop it, sir. Larry the liar, stop it. You caught poopy gum. You caught. Stop. I don't know what you
What's all the sound effects for? That don't even go into the video.
got going on up in here. What is this? I don't know, like a little boom boom room. What is this? What do you got going on, sir? But this is not acceptable. Just not. I ain't even know you had all this going on in the back. Yep. So as you can see, residents, I wanted to show you footage of what happens when the lights go off. At 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. in your own backyard. And the minute something happened, and y'all like, well, why they got a club? What's going on? That's what we saying. Look, they had to get their picture board. They're like, no, I want my picture. I'm not going nowhere till I get my picture. This is what happened.
The sounds that you guys hear, that's somebody, whoever edited her video. They're putting sound effects in there.
But today, truth speaks. And I told you, if you want the tea, get it from me. Because I got the facts. With the receipts. Ha! That part. Y'all weren't ready for that, was you? Nope. Y'all thought I didn't have no receipts. I always keep receipts. People can say whatever they want, but I keep them receipts, though. On ice.
Tiffany, this is not good. Okay. Okay. You're talking about the receipts. Okay, let's go to what she's talking about.
What I represent. I grew here. Y'all flew here. I need you guys to help fix and build our community for family. Not for nightclubs, underground parties, secret squirrel meetings, none of that. Family. That's what I represent. I love you. So we just got done with business number 1. Now we on to business number 2, Rinky's. Rinky is a bar cafe in our village, which has turned into a nightclub. And I want people to see the facts versus fiction. And today you will see the receipts, which are on 2 eyes. We're gonna go through actual police reports, and we're gonna talk about why residents are fed up with the bar in our community and how it has become a public nuisance. Play the tape.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna read a couple incidents that happened in our community where police was called, and when we arrived, there were several fights. On January 7th of 2023, it was a fight in progress. After that, we got another call on May 2nd, 2023, where a group of people was arguing and became belligerent, and of course, you know how it go, another fight happened, and we had to break the fight up. After that, security had to use pepper spray to basically get rid of the crowd in the fight at that location. Security. So if security can't handle the issues at this location, what should we do as a community, residents? Enough is enough. And then on 3 separate incidents where force was used because of the threat and all the people that was there, citations was given for violations, but it was another fight. All I can tell you is, when y'all gonna see the pattern of fights, of issues at this one location? So I'm gonna give you another incident that happened, and I'm gonna take you down the way I see it. But I'm gonna give you the facts as it relates to what happened. It was a crowd outside fighting. We got called for crowd control. Police came, showed up, broke the crowd up, but I guess they were still fighting. And you notice one thing that always happens. Every time we go there for one fight, another fight happens. But this one issue on September 29th of 2023, this is how bad things have gotten. People was inside the bar. This is the story that we was told. Was inside the bar, and inside the bar was a security guard, as they say, off-duty security guard. You're right, but off-duty security guard.
Well, whoever's typing your stuff up, they misspelling words.
Stick to what they said. Off-duty security guard was in there, but he was drinking. So he was drinking. He got into it with a group of people, or a person, from what the story they told, and they beat the man up. This is in Dalton. They beat the security up and took his gun. Where they do that at? In Dalton, as I can see. This sounds like some made up stuff.
No, they do it everywhere. I could show you this Romeo nightclub, somebody got into it, and 2 victims was shot. One person ended up succumbing to his the wounds, and another one, a woman, was hospitalized. And this is Romeo, Michigan, very small town. I just read it. It happened last weekend. So I mean, that's everywhere.
But that actually did happen. So I normally use a little comedy just to show people that, hey guys, things happen, but this is how I saw it in my head. Play the tape.
Santa Claus, he almost tied us up fucking some robbers. He pulled out a pistol and was like, Dodo, you want crack?
Anybody ever seen that Friday scene when Day and Craig got jacked by Santa Claus, and he said Santa Claus came in and he tried to rob him? He was. Anybody see that? That's the scene that I see when I read this statement here, because it's just like impossible. It don't make sense. It don't sound real that a off-duty security guard gets beat up and get their gun taken. So just imagine you in a club with your girl, and all of a sudden somebody gets beat up. That's the security. It's supposed to be.
Well, he was breaking the law anyway. Security officers, if you're drinking, you're not supposed to be. Actually, they're not supposed to even have a weapon at the establishment. I'm pretty sure their laws is very similar to Michigan. You can't have a gun unless you're an officer of the law and not drinking. You're on duty. You can't have a gun at the establishment. So I don't know what she's talking about. One thing I do want to say, this is totally cringe. I don't understand how people could follow this, but she got about 4,000 views on this. This Pinky Bar or Rinky Bar, whatever, Brinkies, is a nuisance in the town. Usually if towns are nuisance, they usually put it up to the town for a vote. Hey, do you think this establishment, and I'm not talking about the whole town, I'm talking about the board of trustees. They usually, and maybe she has the right to supersede that, but usually the trustees will say, oh no, we've been getting a lot of complaints from this particular establishment. No, we don't want to grant them a business license. I don't know if that's the same type of ordinance that they have in Dalton, but Tiffany is the liquor commissioner. So she's the sole person that could grant liquor license or could shut businesses down at will. And is that right? I don't think that's a right thing for you to do. So that's why she's in court now, because you're not operating under the city ordinance or the law.
Be protecting you. Why would you go there? Why would you feel safe? Why would you take your girl there? It don't make sense. But hey, these are the issues that we have in our community. So we have several other issues that I'm going to entertain really quickly as it relates to the public nuisance and the calls that the police department have received. And I'm going to just clear it up with this and I'll leave it here. We had calls for several fights, because I can go on and on and on. We had people get windows broken out of. We had one fight happen, as I stated before, then another fight happened right after that. And it's just sad because at this location, he been having so many problems. He had an ex-employee come to the location, threaten to shoot up the place. And then right after that, they had another fight with 2 men. 2 males was fighting, and we had to come and break it up. We have to say, we're not gonna stand for this. Just let me make sure I'm clear on this. Everybody that comes to our community come from another town. They don't even live here, just so you know. And if you go look at the police reports, you'll see names, you'll see addresses, and it's from all other cities or from the city. So I just want to point that out, and everybody put a bad name on Dalton, a bad rep, but it's the company you keep. If you're entertaining a younger crowd or people that don't want to come and do right or get a little bit of liquor and then start acting the fool, that's the issues that we're having currently. But I just wanted to showcase how the police is always called to this location for fights, for issues, and we come and we help. But it's hurting our community because the community is tired. We even gave them a hearing and they didn't even show up to the hearing. So when people go and tell you guys that it's us and not them, you should ask them, what did you do? Because people can always point the finger at someone else, but never tell you the side of what they did and what the consequences was of not fixing their business. Now we on to business number 3. I am going to explain to you guys and show you truth speaks as relates to.
Like I said, you know, that's what Larry Lacy said in the last board meeting. He claimed because the guy showed up, the owner of this bar showed up and said he had a list of things that he was supposed to comply with, and he said he complied with those things. He reached out to them several times, but they never responded. But then Larry Lacy said, oh no, I tried to call you and give you a hearing and you didn't respond to that. And it's like, I think they were totally lying, because why would a person operate a business and say, oh, to hell with it, because, and you know how much money it costs to build up that business, oh, to hell with it, and not respond to what you're saying. So I think they were being dishonest about that.
This next business, Free Indeed. It said how individuals go on the news and talk negative about people when they know the truth, but they won't say what they did. Well, let me rephrase, what they didn't do as relates to their business. So today I'm about to show you facts versus fiction, because you know the news is all fake news. They just tell you and show you things they want you to believe as it relates to a narrative, to a person that they want you not to like or believe in. So today is the day where I show my truth as it relates to Free Indeed.
Here, put that over there.
One person not feeling the love is Nicole Scott.
Are you a victim of the dysfunction in Dalton?
Absolutely, but more so, residents are victims. Would you like some of these?
She runs the Free Indeed Market, a ministry-minded pantry set up like a grocery store. It's meant to give people in need a bit of dignity.
And then we have some onions here if you need onions.
Scott says she secured funding and architectural plans to redevelop this entire dilapidated shopping center last summer. But the village did nothing with her application for 6 months. She kept a log of her increasingly desperate demands for a response.
What has stopped this?
I don't know. Whenever we go over to the village, we don't get a response.
This has to do with you not taking care of your business. You. Starts with you. Can't blame nobody but yourself. I need you to call the company that did your inspection and make it right. Go fix the building. Give them the plans and the things they need. Matter of fact, put that on the screen. Show the people what they told you needed to do, but you never showed that on the news. You never showed that on the news, because it ends and starts with you. All you had to do is come into compliance with what they told you to do and give them the documentation of what was needed to get whatever you needed from them, which was permits, but you refused to do that. So again, reach out. My door's always open. But now let me show y'all the video of her support. Play the video.
Everybody, this is Dr. Scott with American Association of Single Parents, and I just wanted you to know that we are in support of Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. She has amazing initiatives and programs and things trying to do in the Southland for our community. And so us over at American Association of Single Parents, Free Indeed Market, and coming soon, the Ava Center in Dalton, we support the initiatives of Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. We're glad to be walking alongside her to see the community change for the better.
Thank you. Oh my God. Did you see that? So you do support me, but you told the news you don't. Which one is it? You like all the initiatives that I'm doing in the village. You love the route we're taking. You love the youth initiatives. Like, come on, ladies, stop. I told you, stop lying. Man, it's amazing the things people would do and the things people sell their souls for. Amazing.
Tiffany, when was that video? Did she make that video? Come on now, stop doing this. We know you're lying, because the lady on the video, Dr. Scott, this is the lady owner of the Free Indeed Market. It's a nonprofit organization. She already said that she was intending to do something with the village of Dalton. And Keith Freeman, I guess she has a close connection of God to God. Keith Freeman ruined that. So she probably did support you at one point until she saw your true colors and how many other crazy people around you operates. So why are you doing this lady that way? And if you guys know anything about building codes or getting the necessary permits to approve to the village, any city, any township, You go to a civil engineer or architect, they already know what's necessary. They already know because they build in that city. Oh, and they're going to charge you probably about $8,000 to give you a plan. And it's going to be stamped from a civil engineer or architecture, but it's going to have a PE stamp on there. So I highly doubt that this Dr. Scott paid all that money. And if you go back to the videos that she talked about, her plans that they denied, paid all that money, $8,000, and these plans are not approved or cannot be approved because they're saying these plans are not legitimate. It doesn't make any sense. Dr. Scott, and that's probably why they call her doctor. It seems like she's very intelligent. You're not going to buy a building and then you know you need upgrades to the building. You're going to seek out a person. Hey, I know I need to get these plans approved by the city building permits. And you're not going to just go to the guy down the street that's fixing cars. No, you're going to go to a civil engineer or architecture, and they're going to have the stamps. And of course, she has every right to go back to that architecture or that civil engineer and say, hey, they're saying I need this and this and this and this and this because I paid $8,000 for it. Usually it costs about $8 to $9,000 to get architecture drawings and a seal stamp. And you're going to go back to them and say, oh, they didn't approve my plan. Okay. And then the architecture or the civil engineer is going to say, okay, what do we need on this approved plan? Let me go back through it. So, Tiffany, I know you lying on that one. But you're saying this because a lot of people, they don't start their own business. They don't try to re-outfit a store or try to, make upgrades to a store. So they probably won't know that part. But you're lying. You're lying. You're mad because that lady cut you out on a deal. And then you're hoping that people don't know that Dr. Scott already told everybody she was going to do something with the village. And Keith Freeman was acting like an asshole. So she didn't do it.
Y'all better stop. God don't like you messing with his kids.
And you not his kids. You're a shitty ass mayor.
Stop. She has failed multiple inspections as relates to her location. She was told on several occasions to make sure she turned in plans as relates to her business, and she did not do that. You cannot turn in a drawing with no 3D renderings, no architectural plans as it relates.
You're absolutely lying. You don't need a 3D rendering to turn in plans. All you need is an architectural drawing. It doesn't need to have a 3D rendering. You don't need to know what color my chairs are. She's saying these things, like I said, because people don't know. All you need is maybe a mechanical plan, electrical plan, if they're doing electrical work, architectural drawing, which is pretty 2D. It's a 2D drawing. And if she's doing any plumbing upgrades, she would need that. There's 4 different plans that you need. And what she's saying, a 3D rendering. No. Why would I need to give you a 3D rendering on anything?
To where are you gonna put the furnace? How big is the furnace? Is it gonna be in the ceiling? Is it gonna fall? All these type of things was.
That's not 3D rendering. That's mechanical. So Tiffany, what are you talking about?
Asked of her as relates to an outside company that did her inspection, and we utilize the outside company because it's a big project, number one, and number two, we don't like people to always say the village did this, the village did that. No. She have not completed or improved anything in her location, and a lot of her tenants do complain about the conditions they are actually working in. Here's one video from one of the locations in the unit, and this is what y'all didn't see and what the news didn't tell you. Play the tape. So we are in a store within that location, And it's about to show you that the ceiling is leaking. You see that? The ceiling is leaking. Water is coming down on all of their products. All of their inventory is becoming destroyed. As you can see, it's coming all the way.
Like I said, Tiffany is a big liar, and she's starting to piss me off. That last video of Dr. Scott, she said, hey, my building was flooded. The video prior to that, she said, yeah, we got to do some roof. We got to fix our roof. We got to all these things, but they're not approving my plans. Why they're not approving their plans? We don't know, because we do know. Tiffany is the devil. She wanted to own that building. So this is not a tenant, actually. This is Dr. Scott. She owns the whole building. She was thinking about renting out the building, but she's trying to do everything legally. She doesn't have a certificate of occupancy to rent it out to other people. And Dr. Scott made it very well known that, yes, my building was flooded and we had to shut down so many days to get it fixed.
Through the ceiling. Next video, the ceiling actually collapsed, almost hitting the worker. And in the video, you will see all the wet tiles below. They picked it up, cleaned it up, put it inside a garbage can. But these are the issues that we are having with the location here in Dalton. So people go on the news and tell you.
It's not your issue, it's her issue. If you will approve her permit so she could get a new roof, possibly, that's her issue. This is not your issue. You don't own the building. Her issue is the permit. You're not approving her permit because you're maliciously attacking her. How did you get this video? Can anybody tell me, how did Tiffany get this video? The cops didn't show up. So apparently somebody gave the video to Tiffany.
All this stuff. Told you. Stop believing the hype. Check your facts for yourself. Because if you check your facts, you'll be like, oh, wow, that's why. That's what happened.
And Dr. Scott needs to sue Tiffany. She really do need to sue Tiffany for defamation of character. Because now you got this on your YouTube channel, almost 5,000 views. And now you're saying Dr. Scott is a liar. And we all know that if you watch every single last video of Dr. Scott, even the ones prior to her coming on the news, you know she's been embattled with Tiffany for the longest.
But no one wants to tell the truth. But today I'm telling you the truth as it relates to how individuals come into our community and not do their job, but sit here and point the finger about this and that. But really, truth be told, they're not in compliance with the village. And it's sad that these businesses had to suffer due to her not taking care of her obligation, which is fixing the building.
You're lying, Tiffany. We all know that she hasn't rented out the other parts of the building because she said that. She told everybody, I can't rent out parts of the building because I can't fix the building because Tiffany and her cronies won't give me a permit to fix the building. So what are you talking about, Tiffany? This is why, you probably got some people. Let me see the chat.
So I hope these videos are helpful to you, and I hope you see the truth for what it is. And I pray that we all come to one common ground and fix our village and all get along for the betterment of Dalton. Because at the end of the day, the residents are the only ones that suffer when we are all battling one another. So my job is to love on each other, despite what others may think or feel. I love a liar. Strong arm me to pass them. And this individual also went on the news to say the village didn't do this, the village didn't do that, or people playing politics with him, things of that nature. So today I'm going to show you all of his inspection reports for him not being in compliance. He has also failed multiple inspections. Yes, multiple inspections. But yet they get on the news and tell you the opposite. But y'all eat in these places. Y'all eat in these places. Our job as a village is to protect the residents and make sure no one gets sick. People get health inspections. People get building inspections. If they do not pass, they have to go and fix the things that's needed. If they do not fix the things that's needed, then guess what? They have to do another inspection, pay another fee until they get it right. But our job is to make sure we protect you so we don't give them a business license. We don't let them operate. And when we don't do that, then they go and say, we're playing politics. We're not. It's called of the issues that happen at this club. And it's supposed to be a cafe. I keep telling y'all, these are cafes, but they are turning into...
Okay, so she's going after the businesses. We almost made it through most of it, but she's going after the businesses. Tiffany, she needs to stop. She needs to stop. I think she's just digging herself in a damn trench. And well, she's probably in the trench that she's not going to be able to pull herself out. If you're just starting following this Tiffany Henyard story, you probably be like, dang, why they doing that girl like that? Just look at all these damn videos. I'm just going to say Dr. Scott. Just Dr. Scott videos, even prior to Dr. Scott going, being put on the news. You could tell Tiffany is maliciously doing things to her so her nonprofit won't survive. She's doing it on purpose. You can't tell me anything different. Another thing I want to point out. Okay, so she has 34 comments. You know, some people are laughing. It's a comment on here. Mayor, be careful. Somebody's losing out on money and they ain't going to be happy about it. Dude was raking in the cash at the candy store. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not happy about it, of course. But, if it's an illegal operation, he's not supposed to be operating that. So that, I guess that's one way you could prove, hey, reason why we didn't, grant him his business license because he's operating an illegal club. That's why we didn't grant him his license. I can't believe he had an undercover boo boom room. Entertaining podcasts. Super Mayor, keep it positive like magic. So it's a lot of her supporters on here. I love you, Super Mayor, and you fine. Let's go. And there's a lot of emoji signs. Tiffany Henyard is cashing in on this particular thing. But I think it's going to be damaging for her to keep on doing this. And if she has lawyers in her corner, her lawyers need to tell her to shut the hell up. One thing I want to point out is, this last Pablo's Cafe is talking about failed inspection. Tiffany Henyard, she had a restaurant that was called the Good Burger. And in that restaurant, she served at the local community college there. So she had a little restaurant stand. And one of the things why they did not grant her extension on her lease is because it wasn't clean. Essentially, she was failing their inspections. There's, the school inspection. She wasn't operating during the times when the kids were there. It wasn't clean. And on top of that, they had to sue her because she owed 10 months of lease. They had to literally sue her. And they was trying to work with her, so they brought down her lease and they had to sue her again. So Tiffany, stop acting like you know how to operate a business and your business failed. You was doing some shady stuff. Even with her property that she owned. I guess she knew somebody in inspections, they approved her property, but it had mold. It should have failed. She was taking money from the state for almost 2 years because the lady was on Section 8. She was taking money from this lady And I guess I don't know who was paying her hotel room, but the lady was living in a hotel room while she was cashing in on her rental voucher because the house that Tiffany owned had mold. So Tiffany, stop acting like you're just so above the law and you're not. Well, we know you're not above the law. Cut it out. Anyway, let me get to some of your chats. I don't know why I call it chats, but let me get to some of it. Kim says they showed it on the local news. Yeah, I think they showed that part on the local news. Slander. OCN the kitchen, all them lawyers, but they didn't tell her not to do this. Exactly. Shut your mouth. You have all those lawyers, but nobody said, shut the hell up, Tiffany, because you talking too much. Nobody told her that. She talking too much. What else we got? You pro-Tiff people must have never met a street level hustler in your lives. Yeah, you mean, come on now. Where you from? A rock under a rock? like you don't see through the BS that she be talking about? This is ridiculous. So, does Larry the liar, who says that as an elected official, she's poor of excuse of a human being? Yeah, I don't understand why she calling him Larry the liar. Maybe I had to operate an illegal speakeasy because you won't grant me my liquor license. Maybe I got to pay this mortgage somehow, so I'm gonna invite people to the nightclub now. I want to make it a nightclub because I still need to pay my mortgage, and hopefully nobody finds out about it. How can you truly want everyone to thrive taken from the city? No, because she doesn't. Nurse Petty, salute Mrs. Burns and the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Chavez Grenard, this is Narcissism 101. She's full of busura. Greetings to you, Chavez. Chawanne doesn't like her because she's pretty. I think I'm beautiful too. Sorry. Okay. That was, I don't like her because she got a wig on. No, I don't need to wear a wig. Like, come on now. And ain't no shade on Tiffany. I think she is a beautiful lady, but why wouldn't I like her? No, I don't like her because she's stealing from the public. Okay. She wouldn't allow the city to come in order to write up Dr. Scott in every single thing possible, fine her. So how Tiffany knows what she needs, which she said she wants to reno. Because Tiffany's making it up as she goes. She's a liar. Tiffany's a liar. Tiffany is a liar. Okay. Well, that's all I got to say about that. You guys on the move need to be buried. On the Move podcast need to be buried. I just wanted to cover the first podcast to see what she's talking about. I thought she was going to get into Dalton receipts, but I doubted that she would get into those. I would like to see this deficit. Prove the trustees wrong. If you're saying that, hey, you're operating at a moral standard, a high standard, you're called by God, show us the receipts, Tiffany. Show us the receipts. Even though the receipts in here wasn't really the receipts. She had one receipt of Dr. Scott, but Dr. Scott already told us that they denied her, and her architect and a civil engineer really don't understand what was the reason that they denied her. Anyway. Hagen AZ, Tiff looks more like Lil Food Stand. Wheezy F Tiffany, y'all stop it. And somebody says Dollar Tree Beyonce. Tiffany on the move. Okay, so we gonna put that to bed. And the candy store. The candy store. Anyway, you guys, tomorrow is our 8:30 live tomorrow. So we're going to go live at 8:30 Friday evening. We're going to talk about something good. So stay tuned in tomorrow. I'll make sure I get enough beauty rest so I could, be chipper or whatever. Anyway, so I'm sending all my good to you. You guys, I will talk to you tomorrow.